Photography is all about light. It's about capturing the light and dark of what our eyes perceive around us with a combination of what our brain wants to see in the photo. However much light in the photo depends on how you want the photo to be perceived by your viewers. But how can you use light and dark as practically as you can? Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Jeremiah Hostetler, and welcome to Infinite Journeys. The one subject that encompasses all of photography is the subject of light and dark. This subject not only shows what photography actually is, but it also shows how to use it to create great photos. To begin, let's start with a little review. Photography is the art of capturing light. However much light is captured in the photo depends on the environment and what settings you use. In previous episodes, I talked about several ways to help the camera capture more light, including using aperture and shutter speed. Watch episodes 2 and 3 to listen to an explanation of both. There's also a third way to help gather more light in a photo, but that's not the main point of this episode. The point of this episode is to give context on how to use light and dark in photography. As I mention in every episode, photography is about finding your own way to capture photos. So there may be some things that I won't mention. I'm just trying to encourage you to find out for yourself how to take good photos that you will like. Now, onto the subject at hand. How do you use light and dark in photos? Using light and dark in photos can seem complicated, but it'll get easier as you progress. Keep in mind that light and dark really complement each other in photography. There isn't just one that is better than the other. It's just a matter of what you want the photo to look like. And that's especially true with black and white photos. The main thing to know about using light is that light is more associated with the main subject of a photo. You can see what the photo is about when you keep the subject well lit. Now, you can also keep the background well lit depending on what you want in the photo. For example, when taking a photo of a daylight landscape, you typically want the entire photo lit. However, in certain cases, a little dark may make the photo better. If you took a photo of a grape field on a very bright sunny day, it may help to increase the shutter speed and shrink the aperture. This will allow less light to come in and it'll bring out the shadows of the grape bushes. When using shadow in photos, in contrast to light, a good rule of thumb for most photos is that shadow is more for everything around the subject or something that makes the subject stand out. Sunset photography is a common way this is expressed. Another common way this is expressed is through portrait photography, through shadows on a person's face or body. Now, photography is not as simple as that. There are many ways to use light and dark, and most of it depends on experimentation. Sometimes you can use light and dark in opposite ways. A common way this is expressed is in silhouette photography, where the subject is darkened and everything else is more noticeable. Although there are many other different ways you can express light and dark in photos, this was just an overview on the common ways it's used. Now, light and dark have a lot of implications in life. Let's start this segment by talking about what light and dark is. Naturally, what we think of as light is all of the good things in life. The good memories you hold, your friends, family, and for most people, their life. Now, dark, however, is usually associated with everything bad. Our negative thoughts, our bad decisions, our regrets. Sometimes we are able to distinguish between the light and the dark. When we make a bad decision, we usually recognize it. When we have bad thoughts, we may acknowledge it. When we have a bad attitude, we sometimes recognize it. But there is a sad reality that many people willingly ignore. The world as we know it is filled with darkness. Everywhere you look, there is something negative being pushed at you. It seems like every day that there is a news story pointing to the fact that people are negative, pointing to the fact that people are filled with darkness. But darkness isn't bad in and of itself. This is what's being missed by many people. Oftentimes, our darkness is a way of building our character. It's a way of showing ourselves that we can make a mistake and learn from it. But some people don't get this. They think that when they make a mistake, it's the fault of everyone else but them. I want to encourage you to not only embrace mistakes, but to learn from them as well. There are so many benefits to admitting to your mistakes that you'd be surprised. For those of you who love motivational quotes, meditate on this quote from Disney's The Lion King. Quote, "Yes, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." Are you going to learn from your mistakes like Simba did? Now, this isn't the only thing I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to talk about letting the darkness of this world influence you. There are many bad influences in this world. Politicians ruling as dictators, drug addicts roaming the streets, and much more. Don't let their darkness keep you from shining your light. Show everyone that you are different, that you want to embrace the light even when everyone else doesn't want to. That is what being in the light is all about. It's not about having no darkness, but rather using the darkness to make you a better person and a brighter light. So the next time you go to work, go on vacation, or anything, let your light shine in the darkness of this world. You just listened to Infinite Journeys. I'm your host, Jeremiah Hostetler. Let your mistakes drive you forward and have a good attitude the whole way. Have a wonderful week.